it's important for us to note that marriage is God's perfect plan. However, the people in the marriage relationships are imperfect. But God's plan is a perfect plan. And that's why we always need to lean onto God if we're going to get the best out of this relationship. So 2 Corinthians 4 and verse 7 in the Amplified Translation says, but we have this treasure, in bracket, the good news about salvation in unworthy earthen vessels of human frailty, so that the grandeur and surprising greatness of the power will be shown to be from God, is sufficiency and not from us. What's the scripture saying? We have this treasure in earthen vessel. The vessel itself is earthen vessel, frail and, not perfect. But there's a treasure within. Marriage wants to unlock the treasure within you and I. The only issue is that we have to pass through the human nature that is imperfect for us to be able to get there. And when we're passing through it, we experience conflict. Now, I want to say a few things about conflict, and I'll say how we had some struggle, and I'll allow my wife to put a rejoinder, as the case may be. Now, conflict is natural in intimate relationships. It's very important. Many of us feel that if we love each other, we shouldn't be having many conflicts. In fact, some people think that if we're fighting and having conflict, it means that our love for each other is fake. If we really love each other, there should be no fight. Nothing can be further from the truth. Conflict is natural in intimate relationships, and conflict is the price you pay for deepening intimacy. That's the price you pay for deepening intimacy. Don't try to avoid conflict. You will remain platonic in your relationship.
Or fake. You'll be fake with one another if you run away from conflict.
Yeah. So in the beginning of our own relationship, our marriage, the first 5 years, like we have always said, was very, very rocky and turbulent. And one of the things that made it turbulent, apart from our weaknesses and imperfections playing out strongly, both the little foxes and the big foxes. The big foxes in every marriage have been adjudged based on research to be money, sex, and external parties like in-laws and all that. Those things often break down marriages more than any other thing. But marriages don't only break down on finance issues or infidelity, which has to do with sex, whether somebody's getting it in marriage or they're not getting it in their marriage, or somebody's not getting enough. Everything built around sex, and all that. But beyond that are the little foxes. Like you talk too much. Like your mouth is sharp. Yeah. Those are not the fundamental things like you cheated on me. Some people, the way they feel, if you cheat, is the way they feel when you talk down on them. Yeah. Because it's the same thing. Some people will even say, I'd rather you do the big things than these small things that are eroding trust in our relationship. So, where are we going with this? When we had little, we have been blessed to only be disturbed by little foxes. The big things have not really rocked our relationship. And I'm saying that, understanding that people here who are dealing with issues of infidelity or, toxic in-laws and all that, we haven't had serious issues with that. But I've counseled many people over the years who have had issues with that, and I know it's possible to overcome even the big foxes. But when we started, we had conflicts. Let me say it now.
Before you say it, can I just say it? Just wait now. Shebi, I gave you your flowers in the first service.
Okay.
So the thing is, honestly, I said earlier that one of the imperfections that I used to see for him was the fact that he seemed like he picked on everything. But in hindsight, in retrospect, I can see that if he hadn't been that way, God knows if we would still be together. Only God knows. So I give him his full flowers for literally being that way and fighting for our marriage. He literally fought for our marriage when it would have been so easy for me to slip into complacency, because he would confront the issues. Let's talk about it. No, nothing is off the table. Let's talk about it. Even to the point of sometimes waking me up in the night, Papa, we need to talk about it. I may not have liked the method, but I can look back and say, thank God that God built him the way he is, that he's not like me. His strengths are different from mine. But thank God that his weaknesses too are different from mine. And ultimately, that combination, I think, I literally think, saved our marriage. You can say the rest.
Thank you. So there was this morning in the 5th year of our marriage where we thought we'll come to the end. And we both confronted ourselves to say, this is not working. And maybe we should just easily, without making too much of a big deal of it, just agree to walk away, and can talk to my pastor about our decision and tell him not to intervene, because we are both agreed to walk away. We felt we won't need counseling. We are mature to just walk away quietly. And we explained to our parents and our mentors that it's not working. But before we went to talk to them, we thought about it again to say, but what is the big thing that is breaking down this relationship? And we realized that both of us have been quite immature. My own immaturity stemmed from taking my strength too far, which was that I complained about everything. Yeah. Our own immaturity was that she wanted everything swept under the carpet. She was practicing what is called conflict avoidance or conflict evasion, like when you evade tax. And it's a criminal offense all over the world. Yeah, to evade tax. Now, what I realized from that is that conflict is the tax you pay for intimacy. Yeah. And except you are willing to face your conflict, you will not deepen intimacy in your relationship.